Archer Limited Convos. So today I've got my partner again with me today, and today we're going to do something a bit different. So last time we spoke on relationships, we went into how we think we made our relationship work from the start and kind of sketchy through the beginning as well. Like we touched on a few main points. Today we're going to touch on three things that we don't know what either of us have written down now. So we've got three things in our relationship that either could have caused us to not be together today, or could cause other relationships not to be together when they could end up together like we are today. And I will say we've been together coming up to 5 years now, and who's to say what the future leads for us? As I say, I've said to her from the very beginning, time will always tell. So same as with our relationship, time will always tell. So we are not experts, but this is just our own actual experience. Just as I say, every video we will do will go into experiences of me or my partner and our relationship. So yes, would you like to start, or shall I give one of the first points? Me, okay. One of the things that I say was possibly a hindrance to our relationship at the start was I felt I was, there's many ways to put it. I would say I was protective due to my previous experiences. So I will say, when I say overprotective, I will say overprotective in now I am with this woman. I feel like no one can look, touch, say anything wrong to her. So I feel like I have to say something if someone was looking, touching. Not saying anyone was touching, not saying anyone was looking, but I'm just saying if I believed I saw this, I'd be very on alert and very protective. Some may say paranoid, some may say jealous. I say it's more protective when I've actually overly thought about it, which for my partner would cause her stress because she came from a different lifestyle to mine, where having a go or saying something in public, whether it was for protecting your family or not, was more of a reserved approach. Whereas my approach was, you've got a problem, what are you looking for? This is my woman. And pointing it out that this is my partner. So my mindset at that time wasn't the best, because I'd say I come from a different lifestyle 5 years ago, where living in Birmingham, I say I had to be a bit more alert. And I'd say also not just being alert to what people were looking at or looking for, but also I was also aware of how women could be with their partners, whether they had been with them for a long time, whether they were married or just a one night friend. So understanding that some women may look and some men may look at women, whether they've got their partner or not, I would be over defensive to that and say, no, I'm not being one of those guys to have a man watching or a woman watching behind my back, if that's what I presume. And that made me more alert, as I say, because we all look everywhere all the time. I'm one of the people that look at everybody and everything I walk past, whether that be a person, a car, a nature, a flower, a cat, a bird. I look at everything. So for someone that notices a lot of things, I also have to recognise people also notice a lot of people and are aware of people. So I say my awareness, my protectiveness, my paranoia was an issue for us, which we had to overcome. So I had to be less combative if I thought someone was looking at me or you. I have to be more reserved in knowing you are my woman, and it doesn't matter if someone is watching you, because I fancy you, so there's always going to be someone that also fancies you. So that's how I just believe anyway. So it's just natural, yeah. So that's one thing that we had to overcome, because it could have split us up, because it got us into arguments, got me into arguments, got us into arguments that weren't needed. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
suppose on my side of it, like being me, it felt, I would say again, yes, overprotectiveness. Um, I saw that, although with some things it was good,
Okay.
it was quite sweet
Okay.
because just some things, like even things I wouldn't have thought about before, maybe, and it might sound silly to some people. Some people won't care, won't think about it, but even down to how you pick something up if you've dropped it, it's, you don't think about those things really. You just think, oh, I'm just gonna pick it up like this, not realizing of actually the amount of people around you who will be looking or could be near to you, and so it's made me more aware of how, I suppose, how I would walk around or how I would do something that's a
Okay.
bit more ladylike, I guess is the word,
Okay. Yeah.
than just bending over to pick something up. There's
Yeah.
ways of
Understanding.
doing,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
I get you.
stuff. So that overprotectiveness was quite nice. I think where you said um, paranoia, I think there was a bit of that, and you touched on that based on what you've seen
Yeah.
where you were. Um, I also put lack of trust with that as well, because I think that comes, personally for me looking in, it comes into it as well,
Okay.
where obviously if you have seen things in front of you and you can see these women are not being right to their other halves or whatever you may have seen, or vice versa, that's gonna could cause a lack of trust that you just automatically might have in your head. It's the same for women. I as well might be have been less trusting in the beginning because of what I've been through. It's not the same,
Yeah.
but when you have partners who may be shifty or whatever in their behaviour, and you see things, it can come into the relationship, which was a problem.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely agree there. I say yeah, that is
Mm.
possibly a big thing as well. I say the trust at that time, we still just getting to know each other, really,
Yeah.
and there was still a lot that we didn't know about each other. So definitely agree. Yeah. Trust as well. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say that as well.
Yeah, it was a major thing, I think. Um, and yes, I suppose it's kind of hard on my, I think the thing on my end, and this is where I think people have to be really think sometimes not to jump out of things so quickly. Relationships are work at the end of the day, and you can't. It would be ridiculous for me then to just be like, oh, I don't like this, I'm jumping out. It's silly because you have to understand where each other's come from and learn and grow from it. So I did feel sometimes a bit, it was a lot. And I suppose me looking on my end as I'm such a, not blowing my own trumpet, but I am a good person. I am considerate, and when I'm with someone that I love, all I see is that person. I could be walking down the road, and some people may think it's like not good really, because you have to be aware of what's going on around you. And to some degree, I would be. I'm not going to step out in the road and get run over because I'm not aware of traffic and things like that. But I wouldn't necessarily be aware if people are watching me, because once I'm in love with that person, they're the only person in my head. So that's all I'm thinking about. That's all I see. I have no interest, which sometimes could be a danger because you don't know if someone's coming at you. So I had to learn to be more aware regardless.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I will say that goes into the second one of what my next thing that we had to get over, I'd say, was our age difference and our cultures were different at that time. So at that time, I was 30 and he was 42. I was 31, he was 42, 43. Because I'm 36 now, Erica's 48. So the age difference in us at that time was also a difference because our mindsets were different. We grew in two different eras basically, and also the cultures of what we both came from. So my culture was a bit more as we say, a bit more urban lifestyle living in Birmingham, basically. Whereas Erica was a mother, she was actually a wife at one point. So
Yeah.
she was living a completely different type of lifestyle to what I was living as a single male with no kids at the time. So our age, as well as our culture and lifestyle, we had to both get accustomed to both of each other's, which I'd say falls really into how we treated those occasions with paranoia. And do you get that you're not used to this thing? That's
No,
what we're
I'm
basically
not.
kind of
Yeah.
explained. You're not used to this, and
Yeah.
you're not also thinking like that. Whereas where I come from, I think like that, and
Yeah.
I also understand how other people are thinking, or I think I understand.
Yeah.
So because I believe, I'm keeping an eye out for those possibilities, which were
Yeah.
more would make it more aware for me. But that's because of where I come from,
Yeah.
where I talk to girls throughout the day. I told you, like, my lifestyle was, I wasn't ashamed to say
Yeah.
hello, or so
Yeah.
that kind of was different because that's how I see it. But you're not used to that.
Yeah.
As someone just
Yeah.
comes up to you and says hello, no one's just doing that normally, as
Yeah,
you say.
I had it in the past. I have had that a few times. I think it's just maybe my reaction may have been different, maybe to how some women may have reacted to you.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. For me, it would be a. I mean, there were times when I would just ignore and walk faster, which makes them a bit angry. It's like you're being rude, kind of
Which
thing.
we shouldn't be doing as men, making a
Yeah.
woman feel scared because that, or getting angry because a woman walks
Yeah.
on.
But at the same time, there's times when I just be like, oh, no, thank you, or no, not interested, thank you. And it might make me laugh because the way they're active, they're a cheeky, chappy kind of
Definitely.
person. But I would always be very much, no, thank you. And I'm trying to get away, or I'm keeping my head down, hoping someone's not going to talk to me or not going to see me or something. That's always been me. And in my head, it's like, well, if I'm doing that, I know who I am, I'm doing that, then I expected you to be like, oh, all right, then that's how she is, and accept that, which wasn't right really because you didn't know who I was, but I'm expecting you to believe what I know I am. But how would you know?
It's the
Because we
cultures,
didn't
as
know
in,
each other that long either.
it's literally the culture.
Yeah.
As I say, it's the life we were both living
Yeah.
when we think of it.
Yeah, and I
For
am
real.
generally kind of different
Comes
anyway.
down to
I had friends who, how you're describing girls might be, would act like that. Where I was probably why I was always the quiet one in my group, and kind of I would walk at the back or be left at the back. It's kind of because I wasn't that outy kind of person.
which I say, I was the same. I was quite in the back, but I was outy.
I wasn't outy at all.
Well, I was like to be in the back, even though I was
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, so it's like it is very different, but obviously we've had to.
Accustomed to each
Yes,
other
we've
in that
had
sense.
to, and I think that level of, even though you didn't know me, that there's no proof of me just saying that, you've never seen that of me then. It's that thing of at some point we have to put trust in each other to believe in what each other's saying and to actually see those good points in each other.
Yeah, because you've just touched on the main point of why we're even doing this conversation. Because, as we say, there's things that obviously you can avoid and make a relationship start very strong. But as you get into a relationship, there's things that are going to happen that could deter you, defer you, encourage you, or what, however you want to take it. And although some people, as I say, the main reason I asked the last question was because every time I actually met people, I haven't really seen nobody for like the last year and a half, like nobody other than my mother anyway. Yeah, so like, or our mothers, then you know what I'm trying to say. So other than that, we ain't really seen friends and family like that. Previous to that, anytime I did see people, one of the things people would say is, "How have you made a relationship work?" and you've done it away from Birmingham, and how have you done it? So I wanted to explain how we made it work, but also people misunderstand that yes, I made steps, yes, you made steps as well, and the children had to make changes, but in the midst of it, we also have a lot of hiccups that have caused us to argue and have a lot of emotions shared, I'd say.
Yeah.
And we've had to overcome that alongside, even to the sense of it, some of us may come from two different lifestyles, but we can actually make it work if we both kind of commit to each other and change a bit of each other to kind of match each other's lifestyles, no matter our age, because as we say, there's 12, 13 years difference, or matter where we're from or how we grew, because she had never understood anything to do with illegal life, where I actually can understand a bit of the illegal lifestyle. I'm from Birmingham, she's from London. Like, we had two different complete lifestyle. She was married, I was living a single life. She had kids, I had no kids. Like, these things were completely different, and a lot of different things that a lot of people may actually say that may not make our relationship work because they're from there, or they've got kids, or we live in different areas, but we've somehow made it work even with these challenges, and we've had the ups and downs.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think another thing is a strength as well. You have to be strong enough. I think we've both been strong enough to also. It might have like taken a few talks and conversations and things and arguments, but it's taking accountability for ourselves, and how we've impacted each other, how maybe we've even impacted ourselves with how we've been,
Definitely.
and
It's opening up to each other, kind of
definitely,
like
yeah,
it's being equal. I'd say
yeah,
I know exactly what it's like, being
yeah,
open to each other and fully committing to who
yeah,
you are as well as who the other person is,
yes,
and
yeah,
recognizing you both have to make who you are match with who the other person is
yes,
if you want it to happen.
yeah. It takes work and it's compromise, and I feel like you also have to really believe in something. You have to believe in something bigger than you. We both have our faiths. Our faiths were different at the time.
Even that, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
They were different at the
that's
time.
another
They're not
difference.
now,
Yeah,
but they were then. But there was still that thing of you never um, would talk and act like your faith was any better or different, or yours is wrong, what you believe is, which a lot of people battle with as well, and that cancels them out
no,
straight away. It's
definitely.
like, oh no.
Because that is another, you've touched on it, that's another difference. So a lot of these differences, one of these differences could change a lot of people actually having a long-term relationship. So that is another one. I was Muslim, Erica was Christian,
Yeah.
so she used to go to church, I used to go to masjid.
Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
some reason we've been able to make it work either way, like,
Yeah.
so that these are other things that we say we've had to overcome that were challenges at times, I'd say as well.
Yeah.
Do you get that? But we've had to overcome.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So what's your second one now?
Well, my second one was that, so I will kind of miss that one.
Okay.
I'll say four because it's already been said. I'd say one of my major ones, and I would say something I'm better at. I'm still working on, but I'm better at was my lack of confidence. I think my confidence, my self-esteem, all of those things were kind of low anyway when we met.
Yeah.
I feel like it's taken probably out of our 5 years. It's probably been quite long for me. It's probably taken me probably even 3 of those or a bit more to get to where I am now.
Okay. Okay.
Confidence wise, I was always sure with things. I think, and it's not the thing of not trusting you as my partner, because I think you showed yourself very clearly from the beginning. You've always been very open. Even if we did have arguments, we would get to a point where we can stop, we can explain and talk and see how each other feels and what we mean, and that's a positive as well, how we get through things. But the confidence thing was massive for me, and I think it affected you as well. I think it's affected my children as well, our children. I think that's affected us as well, because obviously, if I'm constantly inwards and I don't feel like I can, at the time, I didn't feel like I could go out there on my own. I didn't feel like I could do much of anything. I didn't feel like I could always, anything I thought, how I thought about something wasn't right. Or it might not be right. So I need to check, because it may not be right, how I'm thinking or what I'm saying, and I used to always second, third guess myself all the time. And it put pressure on you. It's negative towards them, because if they're seeing, I don't want Aaliyah growing up feeling like that. She's a confident girl, and she needs to keep that up. She needs to be like that. But I feel like with time, although it's been hard, and I know it's been hard on you dealing with me, how I am, it's a lot on someone to take on, the other half to take on that. But I feel like you've actually helped me grow in that confidence. And again, that's patience on your part. Yes, there's been times when there hasn't been patience with either of us, which is against the argument thing. But there's also a hell of a lot of patience for you to stick with someone who has confidence issues. Yes, had depression issues. Let's face it. I was a very depressed person, so that don't help either. And you was very strong in that.
Okay, you know what, I respond to that then, and I think this is where the lesson is as well. Even in the reason why we're doing these videos, and whether it's reselling, relationships, Islam, news, is to give a better understanding to how we also could be in ourselves, and also to recognize how we can look at something from the outside. And honestly, see, what all I hear from that is, to put it kind of what the lesson is. We all need to recognize we all have confidence issues. Some of us are more easy to show our confidence than the others. And I've always said that to you as well, even to yourself. You're more confident than you even recognize. And I'm more shy than you even recognize. Do you get that? Like, and my confidence may show sometimes, but sometimes I'm not confident at all, and I don't really show it. And that could be in a relationship even. So even the confidence in me to think that, you know what, this woman is my one from now, and I've got to trust her, and she's got to trust me, and it's going to actually go exactly where my confidence wasn't there. That's why I was paranoid, or that's why I was on alert, or whatever reason I want to be, is because I wasn't as confident as I really said. Yeah, I know how good looking, I know what, but I'm still not confident. So we all have confidence issues, which is something a lot of people don't recognize, and that's whether you are the most confident person and you just don't recognize where your confidence, you're actually not confident, and you'll think you're more confident than you actually are, or you're somebody without actual confidence who actually has more confidence than they even know. Do you get that?
Yeah.
And it's that understanding of ourselves. So that's where I think I helped you, but really you helped me as well, because you helped me understand, you know what, you do want me, and it doesn't matter, yeah, I know I have my issues, and I show them and I talk about them, but it doesn't change how you feel. Do you get that? And that's given me confidence as well to say, like, you know what, it's this. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So your confidence may, yes, have caused me an issue, but it also uplifted me as well because it
Yeah.
made me more confident that you do want me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's understanding you may not even be confident, and that may mess you up because you're not confident. But in fact, your confidence could be a confidence booster for someone else.
Yeah.
And we both can be more confident together then.
Yeah.
Do you get that? And make it work
Yeah.
in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So my next one and final one I say, and I say it's one that has been a blessing, but I say it has been a hindrance. I'd say moving to Wiltshire.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say actually moving here has put a bit of a strain on the relationship. I'd say, even though it has improved the relationship, because as I say, we've kept ourselves away from a lot of the local necessities that we're used to, and we've had to build something together from scratch
Yeah.
with nothing in that sense. So even to the point when we moved, it was a priority for, I don't know if it was for both of us, but I definitely know it's a priority for me. That everything we brought to this house was brand new.
Yeah.
So the only things that we didn't bring that was brand new was ourselves and our clothes and stock.
So can I ask it? Because I know what my thought is on that, but why in your head did it everything have to be brand
It's just
new?
fresh start. Fresh start.
Yeah.
So as we come here, as I say, it's a hindrance, I say, because we don't know anybody. It's been harder, as I say, for me to try and get a job to improve the business. It's been harder for me to just normally socialise as normal as I would, even though I say I've come here not to overly socialise, but
Yeah.
it's harder for that normal sociability, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say I just wanted that fresh start in it. So as I say, come here, know nobody, and everything that comes here is fresh and brand new. And from when we go then to decide to either whatever move house or whatever, it's like we're upgrade from there,
Yeah.
and we just start from scratch and we build that dream from start.
Yeah.
Do you get that? Then
Yeah.
coming with previous things from previous lifestyles that kind of then can kind of bring interruption or energies or just anything like just start fresh.
Yeah.
But then it's been a hindrance, as I say, because for certain things, yes, I've had my business, yes, I've had things that I've been able to help and grow, and I've made a bit of money. But I'd also say I've been trying to get a job for a long time, and even working in a warehouse is hard to find in the local area. So I'd say for me, for someone that isn't in a local area, to just get someone to get a job, or someone's got a business and I'm coming to work with you or anything, that can't happen around here, whereas it would happen in Birmingham. And even to when I think of it, happened in London. I was only there for like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
No longer than a year. But I made a lot of business connections down there in that short space of time. I made more business connections in that short space of time than I've made in the 4 years living here.
Yeah.
So it shows there's a lot more possibilities there. And I didn't work there, but there was a lot more possibilities.
Yeah.
A lot more people were open to a cultural opening to me.
Yeah.
Also, I say we moved here in a time of when it was kind of COVID lockdown. So when we moved here, also it wasn't the normal atmosphere as it would have been, and everybody's all recovering from being locked away. I will say I wasn't recovering because we met in COVID and we built our relationship in COVID. So I wasn't recovering at all. We were starting fresh in COVID.
Yeah.
My business started just before COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So
we met just before, started talking just before
it
hit.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it all came out.
Do you get it? So all of these people were stopping their lives, but I was on the train jumping from Birmingham to to London to come and meet her. And I'm supposed to be in my house supposedly, but it's
Yeah.
life couldn't stop. Life couldn't stop, and I think that's where we moved here, and life hadn't stopped for us.
Yeah.
Life has just started, but
Yeah.
everybody was just in the standstill, I'd say,
Yeah.
which then, didn't make a very interactive atmosphere, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No. Yeah.
so I say it brought a lot of stress on that because we didn't have our own comfort.
Mm.
Do you get
Yeah.
that?
It did. Yeah. I do. I do get that. It was quite stressful. I think it was. It was stressful. Obviously, like you said, coming here, there's like no connection family wise or anything.
Mm.
We're just in a house. Obviously, no one's out.
Mm.
It's like almost moving into a ghost town. There's like no one out. And yes, it was good because it's a new home,
Mm.
everything's new, but there's also a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. Like obviously, not knowing anyone, and
Sorry for cutting you, but this is where my confidence came in and yours didn't.
yes,
Because I don't
Yeah.
really care whether I know anyone or not.
Yeah.
I will still do what I have to do and
Yeah.
try and interact and get to know people.
yeah,
Whereas you would rather
yeah, and that,
keep to what you're doing and
Yeah.
just do what you're doing, which I like to do, but still.
yeah, because that's what I was just gonna say. I find it very difficult to put myself out there or to talk to people, to communicate with people. I find that very, very difficult, and it takes me a long time. And it probably more or less, I would say, in London, took me my whole, my whole adult life, even just to the few people I spoke to.
Yeah.
It took me that long.
Okay.
It's like very bad with me, and I've always been very shy from a child, which makes it even worse because you add the shyness with the confidence and everything else. It's like you might as well lock yourself away.
Yeah.
But so I found it very hard coming here, which again caused difficulty. Again, I feel because it's like I don't want to go out the door. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do this. Which causes problems because you want to go out the door and you want to do this, and it's like that struggle of me getting over those things and coming out. But then even sometimes how I was outside, I know I'm outside, so then I might be walking in a certain way.
It wasn't comfortable.
So and my face might be so it's like I'm, and that doesn't portray well either, and that would cause issues. So it's like I've had to really learn. I've had to really learn to just be like, not to be fearful. I think I was just a very fearful person. Not to be fearful of anything, of anyone, and just live life and live my life.
And I say, though, that has helped because that, as we say, all those pressures come because we was in an area that neither of us were comfortable with.
Yeah.
And as we say, we just started the relationship, so it wasn't even. We were close. We decided we loved each other. We decided we want to move to a new area together. So we obviously had a lot of thought either side.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of thought there, but we was still new to each other.
Yes.
But we had to make a choice of stick at same old and drag along with that, or start fresh and new wherever we start and just come from nothing.
Definitely.
Together. But it takes work, and even if we're in an area that neither of us know and comfortable, and the strains that we're having within our relationship anyway made it hard, but we're still here in the same area and we're still together, so all of it made no difference to the outcome, but they were strains on our relationship.
Definitely.
Because this is, again, as we say, these are all strains. Anything we're talking about, whether it's a negative point of angle, we overcame. So it makes no difference anyway. And this is what I'm trying to get from my actual channel. No matter what happens in life, we can overcome everything, whoever we are, and we can become this, that, and then.
Yeah. both moved from what we knew, who we knew, and just left everything behind. In some sense, for me, I was happy with that because I just felt like there's a lot of toxicity and negativity around me. And not talk about necessarily in my home or whatever, not like that, but the area, just people in general. You know, it could be doing the school run and you see parents in one corner talking about parents in the next corner. Or it's just all these kind of things that I hate so much and I don't like being around. I can't bear, which is why I would always keep myself to myself. Those kind of things. And obviously being in London all my life, being in the same school, all three kids being in that school, the same people and the same. It's like you just want to get away.
No, I get you still. I get you.
But then there's also parts where you feel comfortable in certain parts of knowing this place all your life. The odd maybe neighbours across the street who are nice people and all these things that you're like, it's a comfort thing almost, and removing yourself from that, but knowing it's needed. And I think a lot of people are kind of scared to make those steps of move where there's no one and no support.
Definitely. A lot of people are scared to do it all alone. Everything.
Yes.
Everything. Yeah. Like a lot of people feel like they need help for a lot of things, and that even comes to the first video, as we say, with regard to relationships. A lot of people don't think they can make a relationship work without on their own. They either need their parents' acknowledgement or their friends' acknowledgement or somebody's acknowledgement to say, oh, that relationship works. Oh, you look good on the Instagram, Facebook picture. You two do work, but in fact, only you two actually know whether you work and whether you can make it work.
Yeah.
And the video time.
Oh. Okay. Well, the other one was just, I think, another thing that is a big thing is like interruptions and assumptions.
Oh, I've just done that then as well.
I think we've had things where we've both interrupted each other and we're trying to talk, and it's like we want to, like for me personally, I want to respond to what's being said in that moment, a particular thing, so then I'll interrupt, but then that doesn't work for you because you're wanting to finish everything you have to say. And I think it's something where there has to be understanding. Sometimes we have to wait and just listen for the other person to finish and go back through whatever we need to say after. And the
can I say this is helping us now?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it is. Yeah. And the assumptions as well. I think sometimes we can assume someone else, like each other's thinking something, or I don't know, believe something in a certain way, which isn't the case, and that could cause problems as well. I think I'm starting to get better with those things. I'm starting to think before I open my mouth because I'll just like, and I'm starting to think first. Sometimes things just don't need to be said. Like you said to me before, sometimes things just need to be taken in. But I think that's another thing that's quite a thing for us.
I get that, but I think that's our strong personalities. We both always think we both got something to say. I think because we're comfortable to say what we want to each other, it even makes more sense for us to talk when we want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as I say to you, I'd rather you jump in than be letting me talk and don't want to jump in.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like I'm over talking you and you ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want a woman that can talk and can say what she feels when she needs to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But then,
as I
say,
think I'm getting there with that. I will just say things sometimes.
Yeah, but that's something, as we say, in relationships, we all have to get over. We both have opinions and we both have points of views. That sometimes we both want to get out at the same time, but in fact, we need to take each other our own time and effort to do that.
Yeah.
So hopefully you did enjoy this video today, and I don't know if there's anything more you want to say.
No, I think just quickly that just need to put the work in, people. Seriously, you can't let certain things put you off and be like, oh, I can't do this. You have to be stronger than that, and that includes people getting involved. It could be your best friend in the world, and they'll say something, and it's like, oh, well, their word's gospel. No, it's not. It's about your relationship with your person.
No, definitely. So yeah, that's how we will end today's with the beautiful Erica's monologue at the end.
Thank you.
But hopefully, yes, you enjoyed today's little conversation. Hopefully, you could probably take a little insight into your life, or hopefully into your children's, even possibly. Not interrupting, but just seeing those little things to give them that knowledge that if they do want a relationship, keep their friends out of it. Like, don't let your friends ruin your relationship with your partner, whether it's females or males. And I hope to see you again soon, and I hope next time we will have Erica sitting on this side of the settee. She doesn't have a hijab on at the moment, so I can't persuade her to say hello, but sooner her confidence will be up and she will be sitting next to me with these little conversations. So thank you again with SJ.